Big Brother back again, or shall we say, he never even left. A surveillance program authorized by the Bush administration to allow the National Security Agency to spy on the internet activities of federal employees is now being expanded. Investigative journalist Wayne Madsen is here with more on this. We're talking about the program, Wayne, called Einstein. And there has been, some public information that's come out about this. Talk to me about what this program was said to be doing and what it's actually doing.
Well, when it was first proposed a few years ago by the Bush administration, it really was the pet project of then Homeland Security Secretary Michael Chertoff. Einstein version 2 was said to only be looking at the government internet domains, the .gov and .mil domains. Now we've been told that the current Homeland Security Department under Janet Napolitano is looking at Einstein version 3, called Einstein 3, where it's going to be looking at critical infrastructure in the commercial world, and that's going to include the .coms, the .edus in the academia world, and the .orgs in the nonprofit world. So we're seeing a steady expansion. I think it's also interesting that Michael Chertoff, who has a consulting company, his partner in that is now Michael Hayden, the former head of the NSA, National Security Agency, and CIA, and the Deputy National Director of National Intelligence. So we're seeing this steady erosion, the camel with its nose under the tent, and in this case, that camel is the National Security Agency.
And I think it's interesting that you do bring up the former Homeland Security Director Michael Chertoff and then also Janet Napolitano. Even though these are two different administrations, two different parties even, in your research you've found that Chertoff has actually advised Napolitano on several things. How close is their relationship? Well,
I think Chertoff has a lot of undue influence still in the Obama administration, pushing a lot of initiatives. Einstein 3, of course, the body scanners we're seeing going into the airports. So he has this inordinate influence still with this administration. Of course, he's in the business to make money, but he also has an agenda, and it's a heavy surveillance agenda. And I think the amazing thing is that for him to have called this program Einstein is a real slur against Professor Albert Einstein, who, although he was involved in developing the atomic bomb, he was a big believer in human rights and civil liberties. So this is a real slap at Professor Einstein.
Talk to me about the bigger picture here. I mean, certainly there are implications to this, and the National Security Agency might say, well, you know, they have a right to see what their employees and other employees that work for the government are doing. Give me your big picture take on this.
Well, what the NSA and the other departments that are involved in this are saying is that they're only going to be looking at the header information in email, for example, the from, the to information, but they'll never look at the text of any email messages, or they're not going to be looking so much at websites people visit. But when you deal with the NSA, when they say we're only interested in doing A and not B, they're actually interested in doing A and B, and they've got plans to do C. And this is the nature of the National Security Agency and their surveillance agenda.
And real quick, I want to talk about the technology of this. Some of this technology you found was actually technology that was used to spy on internet activities in Russia. Is that right?
Yes, there was a system developed by the NSA to basically surveil Russian email called, the code name was Pinwhale, and we're seeing a lot of this technology being transferred from foreign intelligence gathering into domestic intelligence gathering by the National Security Agency.
All right, investigative journalist and RT contributor Wayne Madsen, thanks so much for being here.